I have a dream. 4 simple, yet powerful words that will live on in infamy. These words were spoken by a man who devoted his life to fight against racism and bring equality to the African American people by educating and promoting peace. That man was Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. King was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, to Michael Luther and Alberta Williams King. King's father was a minister who was a strong advocate for racial equality in a non-violent way. King was highly influenced by his father's devotion and longed to be a great speaker as well. According to Thomas R. Peaks, King excelled in his high school at Booker T. Washington and was allowed to skip 2 grades. King started college at the age of 15 to study medicine at Morehouse. According to Peaks, King was highly influenced by the president of Morehouse, Benjamin E. Mays, and soon fell in love and found his passion with religion and theology. After he left Morehouse, King attended college at Crozar Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he became an ordained minister and Baptist. After that, he earned his doctorate in theology from Boston University in Pennsylvania. King strongly admired the works and nonviolent preachings of Mahatma Gandhi and used his works to inspire many of his own preachings. In 1952, in Boston, King met Coretta Scott. The two soon fell in love and were married a year later at her parents' home in Marion, Alabama. According to Thomas R. Peaks, King quickly established himself there as a hard-working pastor and encouraged his followers to join and support several organizations such as the NAACP. On December 1st, 1955, an elderly black woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Parks was arrested, which started King's first major boycott, soon to be known as the Montgomery Way. After that, King's focus was in the South, forming nonviolent civil rights movements. It was during this time that King led the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. King had several failures and many arrests during his campaigning. His most famous arrest was in Birmingham, Alabama. It was in Birmingham, Alabama jail where King wrote the letter from Birmingham jail. This letter became famous and was written against nonviolent resistance to racism. According to Thomas R. Peaks, in August of 1963, King led his most famous march with over 200,000 people of all colors and race. King led this march to Washington, D.C. It was there, in front of the Lincoln Memorial, that King delivered his I Have a Dream speech. In his speech, King refers to dreaming of living in a world where there is equality among men and women, both black and white. Living in a world where his 4 children can attend school safely. Living in a world where there aren't for non-whites only signs posted on bathroom doors and buildings. This speech happened shortly before President Lyndon B. Johnson signed into law the Civil Rights Act and later awarded King with the Nobel Peace Prize. King's fame was short-lived, however. With his strong opposition against the Vietnam War, he lost the support of powerful men and organizations. Some of the powerful influences were President Johnson's administration and the FBI. Some of King's own black supporters ended their relationships with him. On April 4th, 1968, King was set to give a speech in Memphis, Tennessee at the Lorraine Motel to support a strike for local sanitation workers. As he stood on the balcony outside the motel, he was shot and killed by James Earl Ray. According to Russell Mondavin, the nation mourned King's death and the civil rights movement fragmented. However, 50 years after his death, we honor Martin Luther King Jr. every day on January 15th. He has come to be known as one of the most influential civil rights activist leaders of all time. If it wasn't for Martin Luther King Jr., our world would not be where it is today, with equal rights for all men and women, black and white. Thank you.